the ball, attack the... You have to score the goals, guys. 90 minutes, 95 minutes, 95 minutes. 95 minutes, 95 minutes. The strategy is the plan. We follow them convinced. The players inside camp, Bernardo, Kevin, Gundo camp, help Boris to play and finish with the wingers.
Dale, guys.
Okay? Bravo, guys. Bravo, guys. Don't forget, you are football players for this moment. Enjoy.
When you are, there's something he said, we are champions. I look at his career from Barca B, you understand, to the Barca main team, had some of the best players then to Bayern, and then of course to Manchester City, and all of that. This has tested him. I just want to hear your thoughts. Let's start from Sam, and then we'll get through your thoughts on the. This is 8 losses in 11. Look, that is relegation form. Like when I mean relegation, I'm not talking about relegation, last relegation. It is not even. I don't even know if Southampton has that. If it's that bad for them.
It's that crazy for them.
It's grounds to fire a manager.
8 losses in 11, 2 draws, 1 win. Sam.
Yes, first of all, so that everyone is aware, I'm a big fan of Pep. So then my analysis is definitely not going to be biased based on that. But like you did mention, this is a ground for any coach to be fired. But it is Pep Guardiola who has shown that he can always win. He has never been in this form, ever. So I watch Manchester City and why do they concede? What's happening? And then my take is what Ilkay Gundogan has said, maybe about 2 or 3 games after they lost, and he said they overcomplicate things. Pep was like, no, that's not, but actually that's it. It's not about the loss of any player. No. Pep won the league with Fabian Delph playing as a left back. So it is not the fact that Rodri is not there. No. Whatever is happening with Manchester City now has nothing to do with the loss of a particular player. It is not Pep doesn't come out usually to come and say, because I don't have players. But it was when the pressure was getting on him. That's when he said, if you give me all my players, I will start. No.
And then that 16 came up.
He has won this league with Kevin De Bruyne playing.
Wing.
Maybe how many games of the season? How many games in the whole season? Without a striker. So he has won. But I think it is a mental thing for them. The guys don't understand what's happening to them. Kyle Walker going forward. In fact, turning back, he doesn't understand. Guardiola, Diaz, every single player just doesn't understand what's happening to them. And it is affecting. In fact, I think this point right now is even stemming from Pep Guardiola himself. We talk about him hurting himself.
Yeah.
And was it the Feyenoord match after the game that we saw him scratch everywhere? Like, what the heck, man? Listen, no, that is not about being a drama queen. That wasn't about being a drama queen. But then, Mike, we had this conversation about. It's not about him, but it was self-hurting, and that's because it's never been there. And I will go back to what you said earlier when you wanted to bring this topic, the depth that you are, how you rise from it.
Yeah.
How it's going to happen with Manchester City, I actually don't know.
I mean,
and I don't think it's going to come from Pep himself. I think that's from players.
From players. All right. So, I feel like, what do you think? Do you think he's the man for the job? Can he bring them out of this slump? Because look at, you mentioned some players now. You didn't mention Phil Foden.
Yeah.
Phil Foden was EPL player of the season. Baba doesn't have
the one with the dash.
But
Foden injured and all of that. That's why I said it's not even about.
My point is that Foden was. Yeah, was okay. Even if you say he wasn't worth it, at least he was top 5. They were nominated.
Of course,
with other people.
Was top.
You understand? He was a top player last season. This season, he doesn't even have a single goal contribution.
Well, for me, I think Guardiola has had remontada at times. We remember when Klopp brought to the league at least twice. This time around, they are still in the Champions League. Things can happen. It is Pep. One thing I know about Pep Guardiola is an actor. He acts for the cameras. Even when you see, we see Premier League, the Twitter handle, the Instagram handle, how they like Pep so much because he gives them content. So Toyosi was talking about how Manchester City has I think they have 2 Netflix and Amazon movies now.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have this one, they are treble.
Yeah.
They have one about so many things. So it is recorded. We look at how Arsenal's own too, where we see all or nothing. So, I want to win. I want all. They are just animated. Yes.
But I'll hold you. You pick up there. There's a plan from maybe next season for team talks to be available to the public live.
Yeah, sure.
It's
Live,
in La Liga.
But that's a
But you know,
different thing.
They have it in La Liga
what
also.
is available to you is actually not what they.
It's
This
not
one,
detached.
all, for example,
What I mean,
all this one that we saw just now.
halftime. So you see them
So
live.
all this
It's
one that we
already
just
in La
saw
Liga.
now is
Yes.
because the cameras are there.
Oh, yes, yes.
So once the cameras are there, is a way.
There's a different
There's
one.
a different
All right,
one.
tell
So,
us,
you
go
know,
on.
you mentioned about about bringing team talks and halftime. Now in La Liga, they're even doing halftime interviews. They are doing cameras always in the dressing room
Everywhere.
now. So for me, Man City themselves, they can't do something. It is not just the coach. You can force a horse to the river, but you can't force it to drink. So your players must be motivated.
come to the party.
When Sam was talking, I talked about maybe it is spiritual because Guardiola is just coming to City. Is he tired of winning trophies? How many has he won? Yes. So Alan, how many trophies?
Started the season like as on fire. At least the first 2-3 games.
It was no Mama Mahrez. Mahrez go send
Yeah,
that message.
Mahrez,
You're gonna
two that go say,
They're still gonna do bro.
So, the
They're gonna do
players
bromance.
themselves, they need to pick up themselves. And I think negativity spreads easily. When about 10 players in the team are not motivated, then you, the young player, you're on the team, you might not be able to do anything also.
Okay.
So I think the players have to
Chelsea,
work up.
your thoughts on all of this that's going on with Pep Guardiola and Man
So
City?
first and foremost, injuries do play, their part.
Their
When
part,
it comes
okay.
to wrecking a team.
Yeah.
But the injuries are not as bad as enough to have 11 games without winning or having just one win.
One win.
Then number two, I love to emphasize on the era of players that we have now. And we're not putting our eyes to this particular issue. The players that we have now, if you notice, all the teams in Europe playing, especially let's use the Champions League as an example, they are almost on par based on the kind of players that you have in your squad. If you notice, for punters, they bet on the big sides because of their name. But some of them, when they lose, and they're like, is this not Bayern that's supposed to do this? Is this not Madrid that's supposed to do that? Check the Bayern team. Ayon Robin and Ribery are not there anymore.
Yeah.
You have
Philip Lahm is not
you
there.
have the regen of Robin, the regen of
Lewandowski.
Ribery, the regen of Lewandowski, or they are trying to be those kind of players.
Yeah.
And then you see the same thing that's why Real Madrid are also having issues with balance, because that balance is not there yet. The KCM of Cruz, Modric, and Casemiro cannot be replicated yet with that midfield that Real Madrid do have. It's the same thing Pep Guardiola is going through. Foden was doing so well. He was enjoying himself because the foundation behind him was the likes of
Rodri.
Gundogan, Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne. It was like when you had Pogba at Juve, where they had Marquisio, they had Vidal, they had Pello. Of course,
Yeah.
Pogba would be free to do as he likes.
Especially Vidal, as at that point
Exactly.
was the destroyer.
That's the same thing.
You know.
Cole Palmer, sorry. Foden was enjoying. Now Foden has the responsibility is now on Foden
He's a star boy.
to create, to
Score.
get the ball, to score,
Bye-bye.
to do everything. And it's difficult because nobody is doing that job for you. You have to also track back and win balls when you lose them. Second
Just
balls, all
does
those things. You also mentioned Savinho. Pep Guardiola will be the one to turn things around. Yes, those players will do so, but it will start from the coach. Why? That I'm the greatest coach. I'm the greatest tactician. Now we're going to see it. The players you had then, yes, we know that Pep Guardiola can be a control freak. He loves to give them instruction. I feel somehow Pep Guardiola has even ruined football, where City players are always robotic. They are there to just...
I am with you on that.
City and Arsenal.
Yeah, they are robotic.
I am with you on that.
They don't
The way
go
their manager-
out-
Outside the
they don't
system, it's
go
hard
out-
to play.
They don't go out of what the manager has already put in place for them. And that's what the problem these young boys are having. We've seen Doku come from, is it not Ren or Lille?
Yeah, Len.
Ren.
Yeah.
Energetic. And
His first season was dribbling all of that.
Yes, and now
He'll turn back.
he has to turn back. He has to
Pass.
be
Yeah.
careful, make every incisive pass. The same thing with Grealish. I was seeing Grealish
At Aston Villa.
at Aston Villa was it on Monday or so? And I'm like,
Yeah.
what happened to this boy?
He was the most fouled player for
It's
the
been
number of
48
seasons.
Goals,
games now.
assists,
It's been 48 games now, and Grealish
He has not scored in 1 year.
a single goal. Savinho and
This
co,
same
all of
thing is
these guys,
happening at
the
Arsenal.
system
You
works.
can't put all of
So
this.
you don't want to destroy the system if
No
it works.
doubt.
Yeah? So you talk about bringing a player in, but then he has been working before you came in. This is what you need to do.
Follow
This
the
is
pattern.
where I need you to get to. Don't go past this. Don't go past that.
No matter the
And he has
pattern.
been winning trophies with that. So
What has he
it's-
not won yet?
That's the thing.
With
Okay,
which
but
players?
now,
With which players?
there's some- yes,
The
there's some-
players that you have
He
now.
backs players in their profiles, actually.
But
Savio
I'm not denying that.
Savio and
But the
Mahrez have
players
same profiles.
The players you have now, they have same profile. But do they play the same way? Would it give you the productivity that Mahrez did?
Remember, Savio is
He
still
won the
developing.
league without. He won the league without a striker. We've mentioned that we've waxed lyrical on all of that.
Yeah.
But you see Sterling. Raheem Sterling at some point was going toe to toe with Lionel Messi in terms of statistics.
Yes.
Yes,
At
yes,
some
yes,
point.
yes.
In the midfield, you have
Yes.
Gundogan scoring 12 goals. How many of
And
them are
then
doing
he
that
does
now?
that. He does that once
How
a
many
season.
goals would
You know, once
Kovacic
they got that
running?
run.
How many
That
goals
That
would
run.
Kovacic
But
give
there's
you?
yes, but
How
there's
many
something.
goals would Grealish give you? How many goals will?
No, if he gives Grealish that free room that I had at Aston Villa, of course he would do.
It's a
The
different
problem
Okay,
is
so but let's see. But
It's
let's
a
see.
different
But let's see.
system.
What do you guys think? What can happen? Yes, you mentioned the players and all of that. It's not going to be easier today. They're starting by 12:30. They're up against Aston Villa.
Villa. Yeah.
Aston Villa are not too superb. But you know that
They've not
against the
been
big
performing.
teams,
Yeah, they know how to
tend to
just-
step up. The smaller teams, there's something about, but you know they have the ability.
Yeah.
They can bring it out.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Aston Villa. If you enter their head, they go show.
They can hurt
It's not
them
going to be
today.
easy.
At all.
So the fact that Manchester United defeated gave you Fergie time.
I'm telling you.
Fergie time against Man City.
like, I mean,
Look at Alan
Take it-
is not scoring. It's Vardy that is scoring now.
For crying out loud,
Oh, no.
Man City
Oh,
scored
it-
and
like-
they were holding back.
Alan,
Like,
thank goodness that Alan is even scoring. That's why Man City is still where they are. So because
it's
it's
13
his goals. It's his goals that has kept
If
them.
not, it would have been a relegation battle right now.
It would have been worse. But I feel Pep needs to make some strong decisions. For example, the Guardiola you mentioned, he has cost them about 2 or 3 games.
errors.
yeah.
Guardiola, I cannot believe.
Ederson also.
I think their mentality.
Yeah, he doesn't even understand. He took Ederson, you brought Ortega, it was still similar thing. Kyle Walker needs to sit down. Kyle Walker.
But if you say Kyle Walker needs to sit down, so do you mean you want to bring on Rico Lewis that does not know how to defend?
Because, no.
Rico Lewis is another.
In that system,
Another
unfortunately now, Pep cannot. The only player that he can complain he doesn't have now is Rodri. Almost all the players are back.
Available.
But can we excuse them this season? These
No,
guys are
I don't think we need to excuse. No,
Yeah,
definitely
No.
not.
Some of they brought new
Well,
bloods.
I agree.
They still have
So you
young
can't-
bloods.
I agree that.
Mike,
You
in-
can't excuse them.
in May,
It's not easy.
in May of this year, just as the season was rounding up, I already gave this league to
Some gave them the
Manchester
title.
City.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's
so
because
you have said
even beginning of the
No,
season.
I'm not even still writing them off.
So I-
they're 3 points behind us now. Despite
So that's the
dropping
thing.
21 points.
All of
Arsenal
this
themselves have been
that's been
terrible.
happening is
Which
still
terrible?
Manchester
Arsenal have been
City.
terrible too now.
Can Manchester City still run that 13, 14 games unbeaten run?
Towards the end of the season, they can't.
It's very, very
And they have the team to do so.
Yeah.
They have the team to do. So I'm still running.
I bet all
They
of
will
you
make top
here,
4.
They will not win 4 matches straight this season.
That's
Man
not-
City will
Mike,
not.
they don't want
Don't
to
worry.
bet that.
Don't
They
worry.
don't
Don't
want to
worry.
bet that.
I will. I go. I can. Let me
Like
say.
I said,
I will keep this video.
all
They will
his-
not
all
win.
his players are
If
back.
They will not. In fact, they will not win 4 matches straight.
All
Please.
his players
This
are
is-
back.
No.
Okay,
no.
okay.
Except
We're there. We're
Rodri
there.
and
We
Oscar
do here.
Bob.
We do
All
here
his
now.
players
Don't worry,
are
we go
back.
there.
So-
Our future, we go there.
No
Like we a time where we'll be pleased. We might not be able to take your message, but you can drop.